This time on TV Reviews, we're going to be looking at Batman the Animated Series. Batman the Animated Series came out in 1992, roughly around the same time as Batman Returns, and has been hailed as one of the greatest animated shows of all time, as well as being considered one of the most iconic portrayals of the Dark Knight, if not the greatest portrayal of the Dark Knight. And this is an amazing show, guys. It's brought to us by Bruce Timm and is so iconic, from its animation to its character design to the stories it tells to the gothic nature of this show. This is an amazing show and should definitely be considered one of the greatest animated shows of all time. Guys, I've been waiting to watch this show for a very long time, and now that the Blu-ray has finally been released to us, I finally got the chance to sit down and watch every single episode from Batman the Animated Series as well as the new Batman Adventures. And guys, this is an amazing show with great animation, interesting stories, and just a great portrayal of the Dark Knight, voiced by Kevin Conroy, who to me is Batman. This guy is amazing. His voice is great. His portrayal of the Dark Knight is just perfect, and when I think of Batman, I think of this animated show. Also, we got great other voice actors in the show, like Mark Hamill as the Joker, among others, and basically the show is a great way of showing his rogues gallery and the interesting stories there. There's some really interesting stories in this. My favorite in particular is called I Am the Night, but I also love one of the most beloved episodes of the show, Heart of Ice, which has basically a new origin story that has been adopted into the comics, and even Batman and Robin the movie did this with Mr. Freeze and his wife, which I think is honestly really cool how influential this show has been to the movies, to the comics. I mean, it brought us Harley Quinn, who is a much beloved character in the DC Comics now. She is fantastic in the show. Her voice actress is great. I love the character. I love her relationship with the Joker, and they explore that a little throughout the series, especially in the final season. Also, what I love about this show is also the music, which is very heavily influenced by Danny Elfman's score from his Batman movies, and it's really good here, as well as the animation and the gothic architecture of Gotham. It looks almost like a 1940s, but it's definitely supposed to be modern day, maybe, I don't know. But it just looks great. It's beautiful to watch, especially with the Blu-ray transfer of this. It looks great on the TV. Now, I could praise this show all day, from its action to its characterization to its comedy, specifically with Alfred, who has some of the funniest lines in the show, who always makes me laugh, even when it might be something completely stupid or dumb. But also, this show does have its share of problems. Every now and then there's a weaker episode that really brings you down and is just not that interesting. Sometimes can be rather boring. Some villains, especially ones that are introduced in the show, can be kind of dull. I'm looking at you, Red Claw. You have the worst episodes of this show. Also, once you get to the new Batman Adventures, you definitely do see a dip in quality in the show, even though it's still really good. During this portion of the show, they basically changed the animation style a lot and did some redesigns with the characters, and sometimes it actually works. I think Batman looks pretty good, Robin does, Batgirl, and also Harley Quinn. However, there is some missteps here and there with the Joker, who just looks wrong to me, and the worst one is definitely Catwoman, which looks really terrible and looks like it was unfinished almost. It looks Definitely different from how she looks in Batman the Animated Series, but in here it just looks unfinished and rushed and just looks sloppy. But I can say sometimes they just get the animation just right with the redesigns, such as with Scarecrow, who looks nothing like the Scarecrow in Batman the Animated Series in the first two seasons of the show. He looks completely different in the new Batman Adventures and looks terrifying, and I love that design. I think it's a really great design. However, yeah, the animation in the last part of this show can bring it down a little bit, and the stories are maybe a little bit more childish and just aren't as up to par with some of the earlier stuff in the show. If I had to rate the seasons in order from best to worst, I would go with season 1, season 2, and then season 3. But they're honestly all really good, guys, with great animation, great characters, great stories, a little bit of flubs here and there, but what show doesn't have a little bit of flubs here and there anyway? Guys, this is a great show. I'm finally glad that I got to see it, and I can't wait to rewatch it multiple times. It's a great Saturday morning cartoon show that is really enjoyable and one of the best portrayals of the Dark Knight that I think we have. I'm gonna give Batman the Animated Series an 8 out of 10. Well, guys, I want to thank you for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe you saw my other Batman reviews that I did recently with Mask of the Phantasm and Sub-Zero. I was wanting to review those leading up to this show because they are so integral to the show. Now, there is one other movie that I haven't talked about, which is Mystery of the Batwoman. I think I'm going to wait and review that sometime later when I finally own it on Blu-ray. So look forward to that in the coming months, in the coming year, whatever, whenever I get to see it. But I want to thank you guys, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next review.